How's it going, folks? Landon here, and are you searching for a medical assistant program? Well, let me know if any of this sounds familiar. You go online to try and find the right medical assistant program. So you're looking, and you land on these websites, which offer little to no details about their program. And all they have is this big form where you enter your name and phone number. So you fill that in, and then you wait, and wait, and wait. And finally, you get a call, and the sales rep on the other side of the call starts talking about the program, and they go on and on and on, and half of the things just go over your head. A few more calls like this, and you are sitting there completely confused, and you have no idea if the program is right for you or not. While looking for a training program, a lot of things are going through your head. So many things. Things like the tuition course duration. How will you accommodate daily or weekly classes into your schedule? Will the program get you job ready? What do employers want from entry-level medical assistants? It is a lot, and the process of finding the right training program can be exhausting. Well, my medically assisting searching friends, your days of confusion are over, because in this video, I will talk about the top 6 things that you need to look for in a medical assistant training program. So you ready? Because I am, so let's go. By the way, if you're new here on this channel, we share tips and tricks for busy adults to start their dream careers faster, without student debt or spending years in the classroom. Okay, so number 1, your medical assistant training needs to be affordable. There are some full-time degree programs out there that can cost up to $20,000. Now that is a lot of money. To afford that kind of tuition, you could need student loans. Before even starting your career, you're already under a mountain of student debt. Debt that could take years to pay off, and that flat out sucks. I'm still paying mine. Ugh. Now this might not seem like a big deal right now, especially if you're fresh out of high school. But when you are out there, working hard as a medical assistant, saving lives, seeing a chunk of your salary going away each month to pay off student loans, ooh, that could be a hard pill to swallow. And sometimes this debt could lead to difficult situations, like being stuck in a job that you absolutely hate, or not being able to make big life decisions, all because you have this mountain of debt looming over your head. It's just not practical. The problem is most students think they don't have another option to get their training other than enrolling in a full-time degree program. Well, there are affordable options out there, and I will talk about those shortly, so stay tuned. Ideally, your medical assistant training should not cost more than $5,000. Anything above that means that you might have to rely on aid or student debt. Number 2, a university certificate for your medical assistant training is best for your resume. As a medical assistant, you'll be working closely with doctors, physicians, and nurses, and they go to the best schools. In healthcare, they care about where you went to school and the education that you received. Now, that university certificate looks great hanging up on your wall or in the office, but it also builds trust in you and your skill. Long story short, a big name university certificate for your medical assistant training is best for your resume. Now, I know what you're thinking. You just said full-time programs are super expensive, so how can I get a university certificate? Well, guess what? There is a way for you to get in-depth medical assistant training and get a university certificate without the burden of those student loans. But that is a lot to cover in a single YouTube video, so I would like to invite you to sign up for a free medical assistant masterclass that we created. In this free masterclass, Grant Aldridge, the founder of this channel and a well-known education expert, talks with Nancy Vang, a certified medical assistant with over 7 years of experience. Nancy shares all of her secrets about this industry, and you get a step-by-step blueprint on how to become a medical assistant in the next 6 months without the burden of student debt or having to drive to classes, because we know how much gas is. This masterclass gives you a roadmap of how to get a university certificate for your medical assistant training without that big, expensive price tag. If you have been looking to pull the trigger on a medical assistant training program, then you need to check this out. You'll discover how to start your career faster and be job ready as a medical assistant in the next few months. To sign up, click the link below, put in your contact details, and you will get instant access to watch this free masterclass. Moving on. Number 3, your medical assistant training needs to be faster. A full-time program, associate degree program, can take 2 years to complete. That is way too long. And for a good chunk of it, you'll just be studying electives like math or English, subjects that have little to do with medical assisting. The bottom line is 2 years is a long time to spend in a medical assistant school. Ideally, your training should be completed within 4 to 6 months. Faster course duration means that you can start your career faster. Number 4, your medical assistant training needs to be from an accredited source. Sometimes students tend to make the mistake of enrolling in a cheaper program without verifying if it is accredited. If your training is from an unaccredited source, that can raise some major red flags in the eyes of an employer. As a medical assistant, you are dealing with patients on a daily basis. That is serious work. And healthcare companies want to hire medical assistants that can be trusted with their patients. When you walk into that job interview and they see that you've got training from a place that they have never heard of, that could raise major red flags. Number 5, your medical assistant training needs to prepare you to be certified. According to a survey, a staggering 89% of employers want their medical assistants to be certified. To get certified, you have to clear an exam conducted by a nationally recognized institution like the NHA. And as I said earlier, cheaper local programs often lack quality and might not prepare you for the exam. I've also seen folks opt for on-the-job training, but preparing for a certification exam while working full-time could prove to be challenging, and you do not want that headache. The takeaway here is, before enrolling in a program, ask them if the curriculum is thorough and if the program prepares you to get certified. And finally, number 6, your medical assistant training should help you get some hands-on clinical experience. After completing theoretical training, you could still feel like you are not completely ready because you don't have that real-life hands-on interaction with patients. You don't have that clinical experience. The best way to get some experience under your belt before you start working is through an externship. In an externship, you work in a healthcare facility for a few days or weeks, shadow other medical assistants, perform a few duties, and interact with patients. Plus, you can cite this experience on your resume, something that an employer might take a look at and say, "Oh, that looks good." Ideally, you would want to enroll in a training program that helps arrange an externship for you, because finding that on your own, especially when you're just starting out, can be a big headache. So these are the top 6 things that you need to look for in a medical assistant training program. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How the hell do I find the right medical assistant training program that checks all of the right boxes? Well, that is why I will once again ask you to check out our free medical assistant masterclass. In the masterclass, you will get a step-by-step blueprint on how to find the right training program. Plus, you'll also discover a training program that actually checks all of those right boxes. Like everything that I've talked about, everything and more. With this, you can be job ready as a medical assistant in the next 6 months without student loan debt or having to drive to class every day. Click on the link below to sign up for the free medical assistant masterclass by Grant Aldridge and Nancy Vang. I hope today's video was valuable, educational, and entertaining. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting on? Come on, man. Until next time, this was Landon signing off. Take care.